Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Scraplift Crafternoon. I am also going to be working on how to kill a kit with style. This is my counterfeit kit / how to kill a kit style product. I have pulled some papers from my kit. My papers, most of them came from January 2023 Hip Kit Club Kit Stories We Tell. This particular piece of paper came from their collection, The Good Life. I don't remember which kit that is. I don't know if there's even a date. No date on the paper. But it goes well, as does most of their product with other parts of their kit. I have some ephemera from Stories We Tell, the chipboard stickers from Stories We Tell, and then some things from the collection called It's a New Day. Mostly they're puffy stickers and some chipboard stickers as well. And then I have some thickers. These are from It's a New Day, both of these. I'm not sure which of these things I'm going to be using, but I thought I would pull them in just to see if I could use them up. I have the set of alphas, came from one of their fall collections called Fall in Love. I pulled it for this layout for the smaller navy blue alpha, not the green. And then I have my bag of loose embellishments that I will dig through probably off camera to add to this layout as needed. I did not pull photos yet, so I do need to pull some photos for this layout. We are scrap lifting this beautiful layout up here that I've posted in the corner. I will have the creator's information listed below for you so that you can view her YouTube or Instagram account, and that will all be linked below. There will be a playlist linked below of all of the ladies hopping along with me today. My tribe has 10 of us now, and I think most of us are participating this week. If not, then they will not be linked in the playlist. So I'm going to pause, I'm going to choose some photos, and I will be right back. So off camera, I went ahead and I cut this triangle with my Cameo. I know that's kind of cheating. I could have done it with scissors and a ruler, but you know, sometimes I like to cheat. Next up, I'm going to actually fussy cut the triangles out of this pattern paper. I'm going to cut them into 2 long borders. I'm not going to cut them individually. I have had this idea running in my head on how I wanted to use these triangles, and this Scraplift Crafternoon kind of goes along with the idea that was in my head to begin with, and so I'm just going to kind of do my own thing, but give a huge nod to Wendy's beautiful layout that we are scraplifting this week by putting the big triangle in the background. I also used triangle background paper from my kit, so that means that's 3 pieces of pattern paper from my kit this month on one layout. That's pretty cool. I will save the scraps from this, and the goal is that I will be able to maybe mat some photos with this piece of paper that I am playing with right now that I am cutting out. It's got a decent enough pattern on the back side that I could use it for photo mat. I've got a couple of layouts with some smaller photos that I need to work on, and so that will work for that. Anyway, I'm about to get this second border cut out, and I'm going to layer them up. So I'm going to play with the layering first, and I know what I'm going to end up doing is I am going to let a little bit of triangles kind of hang over the sides, and then I'll trim them off at some point. I did choose a photo for this. This is a photo of me drinking coffee up on Pikes Peak right after we moved to Colorado. I, of course, saw coffee, had to have coffee. And, of course, a unique experience is getting to drink Pikes Peak coffee on Pikes Peak. They have a little, like a food court in their visitor center, and you can get coffee. And I hear the donuts are really, really good, but my food allergies don't allow me to eat donuts, so or at least not theirs. and so I didn't get to try those. Next, I am going to mat the photo again with this scrap of navy blue cardstock. I have a few scraps next to my desk, and I keep a lot of cardstock pretty close by so that I can grab a piece if I need it, and luckily I had a piece of navy blue ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this first border, and then on the second border I'm actually going to add some fun foam on the back to give it some depth. I love doing that. If you are new here, this is something that I do all the time with fun foam. It's adhesive on one side, or at least this pack that I have is. I've purchased packs that I have to use glue for both sides, but this particular side has adhesive on it, and I'm just going to kind of strategically place some smaller bits just to make sure I have an even layer of foam on the back. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want just enough to make sure that nothing is sagging in the middle. So again, I am gonna kind of hang off this border on the left side, whereas the other one, it's hanging off a little bit on the right side. And I will be tucking my photo and embellishments kind of under this. I did not glue down my big triangle. What a goofball. So let's fix that first and get it so that it doesn't move anymore, and then I'll go ahead and get this laid down on here. I really like triangles, and I like to play with them. You can build quite a bit of different things using triangles, so it's really fun to go ahead and build this layout with the triangles making mountains, and it was fun to use this photo that I've had printed for a while. So I'm going to put my title on first before I do any more adding of embellishments, and it's going to say coffee anytime, anywhere, and I do have to Frankenstein a few of my alphas because the little navy blue alphas that I have in my kit, I've used some for other layouts in the past, and I'm missing like a T, and it seems like there might have been one other I was missing, but I do have to Frankenstein a T, and I have to Frankenstein a comma. No big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and now work on the smaller part of the title using these littler letters. These are puffy stickers. They are not from the same collections as the rest of my counterfeit kit it came from. They are from an older fall kit, and I just put them in here because of the navy blue little letters. I've been kind of ignoring the green letters, not because I don't like them, but because they just didn't really match the papers in my kit. So here is where I am Frankensteining a T and making it just kind of work. Works well enough. I'm going to use my tweezers to kind of get that second part of the T in the right place, and then I'll have to make sure I glue everything down off camera with some wet glue. I have an M, and that works really well, and for once there's plenty of E's, which is awesome. And the other letter I have to Frankenstein is a second N. I don't have any more, so I think I just cut an M down, and just it's a little wonky N, but it is what it is. I wanted to use more of these letters, and that's where I'm kind of tapping my fingers thinking, okay, what am I going to do with an N? You can use a Z, and I could have used a Z because then you only have to turn it on its side and it works, but then it's shorter. And so I'm just kind of going to just deal with the fact that this N looks a little wonky. It's because it used to be an M, and maybe I could have played a little bit more with it to make sure that it looked more like the other one. But I just decided I was okay with it just being a little bit wonky. Sometimes I wish you could buy some of the more used letters by themselves at the letter pack. I think that thickers should do that. They should sell a pack of the most used letters separately from the rest, and I guarantee they'd make money, but because I know I'm not the only person who thinks that. Now I'm just going to start layering up some of the embellishments. I don't end up using the green flowers at all, And I have a pile of flowers that I pulled in from a stack of Hip Kit. I had finished off all of the paper except for, it's about a 4.5 by 6.5 piece of paper, and then a whole bunch of embellishments, and it's sitting out on my desk waiting for me to find photos so that I can maybe use it. And I just picked up some of the floral bits from that stack to pull in here because I wanted to add a few more flowers than what were in this kit. Funny, this kit doesn't really have a ton of flowers. It has a lot of floral elements, but not actual plain flowers. I'm adding the little tennis shoe, the sneaker, because this was, well, technically we didn't hike this day, but we rode the cog rail up. But it's, I was wearing tennis shoes and we kind of hiked around the Welcome Center. This was right after we got here, and just being up there kind of made us a little out of breath. And I know that my husband had a headache for the rest of the day, and his phone gave him a black screen of death the next day. That was unexpected, but it completely died the day after this trip, and I guess maybe the elevation messed it up. We don't really know. Anyway, I'm just kind of layering back and forth on either side. I've got quite a bit of layers here, and I'm really happy with all of the layering that I do. I end up using almost all of the flowers I pulled from that spare kit that's off to the side of my workspace, just that one that I'm not going to use. Now I'm going to pull out a couple of hearts and add a couple of hearts on here. And I'm not worried about making a huge cluster with the hearts, just putting a few, 2 on each side in each cluster. And that makes me pretty happy for the most part with what I have. And I'm going to pause and I'm going to glue everything down. All right, I got this layout done. I do need to add my journaling still. It'll say something about when we visited Pikes Peak. I had to try the coffee because I love coffee, and wanted to try it up on top of Pikes Peak. I'm in the visitor center in this photo. I did an awful lot of layering up of the embellishments. My layout is not exactly like Wendy's because I wanted to incorporate this triangle patterned paper from my How to Kill a Kit with Style and Counterfeit Kit challenge blog kit. And I actually put this paper into this kit for this scrap lift. I know it's not exact, but it's close, and I've made it my own, and sometimes that is the absolute point of scrap lifting. And I just really enjoyed this process. I love her layout. I'm really happy with my layout and all of the little goodies that I got on it. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. Make sure that you check that description box below for the playlist link for Scraplift Crafternoon. There is also going to be a playlist for How to Kill a Kit with Style. I'll post my video on both of those links, and that way you can watch what other people are doing with both hops. Again, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for your likes and comments. I really do appreciate them. If you have any comments or questions about this layout or anything that you saw me do here, please drop those below. I will get back to you. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Bye.